Morning, everybody. Mick here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. So, bit of information for all of you. As some of you are aware, in the last couple of months, I've been undergoing a whole series of tests and examinations um, to find a problem or sort a problem out. And I've had a bit of luck. In fact, I've had a lot of luck. And that has led to a result which we got yesterday, and it's going to change how I do things possibly for a couple of months. So I want to explain that to you guys now. And I'm going to give you the whole picture. I'm not hiding anything. I want this, if anything, I want this possibly to help others, make people aware, and also let others know that they're not alone in these situations, because it is a bit of a pain, really. That's putting it mildly. So let's tell you the story. 20 years ago, I had a kidney stone. That kidney stone went and got it treated in a hospital in the A&E, and whilst they were scanning me, they actually turned around and said, "Do you know what? We're pretty positive you've only got one kidney because we can't find the kidney on the other side." I went away later that day from the treatment, convinced I got one kidney, and I spent 20 odd years convinced I only had one kidney. Um, And I led my life thinking to myself, let's look after the kidney that I've got, because I only got one. About 3 months ago, I got invited for a lung scan because I'm a long term smoker, and it is something that was offered to people of a certain age that had smoked in their lives. And I went and I had that lung scan, and that lung scan did show a shadow on one of my lungs. Okay, so I got invited back for a second scan. Now, went back for the second scan. The shadow's still there, hasn't got any larger, hasn't grown, hasn't changed. That's a positive and a good thing. But that scan was a little bit more in depth and a little bit more concentrated at the base of my lung. And when it went off, somebody, and I owe this person a thanks, in the scanning section that looks at these scans, analyses them, and all the rest of it, noticed that one of my kidneys was a bit odd. So then that got referred off to a specialist. The specialist looked at it. Now, unbeknown to me, I'm then invited back for a third scan with dyes and all sorts put into them. And I thought the scan was for the lung. It turns out it wasn't. It was for my kidneys and other organs. I then get a call to say, come in and we're going to have a chat to you. You need to speak to a specialist. So yesterday, me and Kaz went to the hospital, and we spoke to a wonderful woman and a wonderful, two wonderful women, absolutely brilliant, fantastic women. But the conversation sort of went like this: "Do you know why you're here?" "Yes, I had lung scans." "Right." Explains what's happened. And it turns out, in all probability, I've got kidney cancer. Now, I at that point sort of went, "Oh no," and I've only got one kidney. And they both looked at me, and surgeon, one kidney. So I explained to her why I believed I only had one kidney. They went back to the MRI, brought the MRI up for me and showed me, and said, "No, you've got two kidneys." But what's probably happened, because you were such a beefy lad, and I was a very muscly, strong lad in my youth, it might not have been found on the ultrasound. And so therefore, they've just turned around and said, "Can't find your other kidney, and you might only have one." Might only have one. So lucky, I literally went, "Woo, got two." That's good news. As a nurse said to me at that point, yes, for a few weeks. Now, in all honesty to you, what they believe is cancer, and cannot actually be physically confirmed, type, stage, and all the rest of it until the kidney is out, biopsies are done. So, got a waiting period. Looks like I'm booked in for Boxing Day this year to have it out. and I'm not bothered about having it out over Christmas. I just want it gone. And I've also said that if they get a cancellation or something, they can fit me in earlier, do so. It moved that quickly that I went from that check to straight to pre-op. I've been pre-oped, yeah, and I've got to go back again on Monday and have a few more tests done. But that's a step forward. Now, for anybody that's in this situation, when somebody says to you, and I'm quite, I sort of admit myself, I'm quite a ballsy bloke, but there is a rug under you that gets pulled when somebody looks you in the eye and says the C word. And I don't care who you are, thoughts go through your brain. The thoughts for me aren't so much about me, I'm worried about Kaz, my sons, and so on. And this would have been put up for you yesterday. However, I wanted to speak to my sons and family first. So there's a few guys that knew what was going on as mates and that. And yeah, I didn't get back to them yesterday so much because I owe it to my family to tell them first to fill them in on all of the information and let them know this is what I'm intending to do. So my channel is Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. I'm not going to be able to do quite so much outdoors for a few weeks, possibly 2 months, purely and simply because one of the things I've been advised is one, avoid contact with people where possible, to lower the risk of infections. Obviously, if I catch cold, chest infection, or something like that, it's going to put my operation date off. And as I've been advised, is this has got to come out as soon as possible. The sooner it comes out, the better the result. Okay, so I am not getting out as much as I'd like. That means most of the videos, because I'm going to keep doing the videos, are going to be from here. And I'm also going to post how things are going, how I'm feeling, both mentally, physically, my condition, all the way through. We're going to see this right way through to the end because it is a survival story. Okay, I'm not looking at it from a negative. I'm trying to look at it from a positive, and knowing how I feel inside and mentally means that I sat and thought, well, I'm so lucky. I've got such a big support crew around me. Um, but there may be people out there with no support crew, and there may be people that get diagnosed similar to me, who suddenly feel that their world's collapsed. So by bringing you along on my journey, and by telling you my story, and by being open and honest, I'm hoping to help others. Um, I'm going to go through phases. Now, that happens in these situations, like any good survival situation. You go through phases of positivity, denial, anger, joy. It's like anything in life. But I will take you along with those, and I'll be open and honest with you. Now, for those of you that join me to see the out the woods firelighting and all the rest of it, I'm sorry. We will come back to that. I've got a ventures plan for next year. Okay, I'm still planning ahead. I'm still doing the way in May. And this is going to be interesting because this is another 2 months of my training program out the window. Okay. The recovery from the operation is 4 to 6 weeks, and it is no lifting, no straining, no nothing. So that's going to put me back. I'm literally going to have, let's look at it, by the time February, realistically February, halfway through February, April, and May's the walk. I'm going to have to train and train hard. It should be interesting. Come with me on the journey, see how I get on. There is a possibility of me going out to Czech Republic next year to go camping up in a mountain forest with my son Dan, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to tag Chris, my oldest son, along with us as well. So that'll be an interesting adventure. And obviously, I still want to get out to the States. They're all on my bucket lists. Um, so, where do we go from here? Well, like any good survival situation, I've sat there and strategized this, or tried to strategize it. I've looked at it. I've looked at the medical information. I've looked at where I am and the risks. and try to analyse it. And at the moment, I must be honest, I am, as the specialist said, very, very lucky that this got diagnosed early. It's 5 centimetres. It's not huge. Okay, it got spotted before I've actually really felt any effects from it. Now, normally what happens with kidney cancer is people start to get blood in their urine, they start to get a swelling and a pain in their flank, they start to get night sweats and fevers that come out of the blue. They go to the doctor, it gets analysed, and it's progressed further. Yeah, somebody in the scanning department somewhere. I'm going to be sending a letter. I owe them a big. Well, they got my loyalty and love for the rest of their life. So I am lucky. So we take that, we go, got it early, and that is positive. Yeah, that is a big thing. And for any of you out there, if you ever feel that you have the symptoms to any of these illnesses, get it checked out. Okay, you go to your doctor and say to him, I've got this pain here. I'm getting these night sweats, and Mickey says, blimey, get it checked out. I want it checked out. It's non-invasive getting these things checked out, but the sooner you catch it, the better. Right? The next stage on this journey for me is a waiting stage. So it's I've got to concentrate on healthy eating because that makes my body stronger. Exercise, keep myself fit, keep myself capable. Before the operation, I want to get more walks under my belt. So that I'm putting my body in a better position to fight. I'm making it stronger. And then hopefully that will speed the recovery. Positivity, mental strength. Where do I take the mental strength from? Well, it's like any fight in this life, any survival situation, you strategize it. Okay? You sit there and go, right, these are going to be the processes. This is what is likely to happen, and this is how I'm going to deal with it. And you fight it that way. If you're you find yourself on the side of a mountain, you come off the no tree area, you get down to where the trees are, you build a shelter, you build a fire, and this is exactly the same sort of fight. What do I need to do to make myself better? What do I need to do to help myself? I'm not going to sit there and just go, oh, it's all down to the consultant and the hospital. No, I can help myself. They're the experts. They're going to do the real difficult bit. They're going to do the fire lighting and the water purification, but I can build my shelter. Okay, and that is by looking after myself. The other thing I have to do is look after those around me. Okay, so I have to be open and honest with family. Okay, now pre-diagnosis, I played a lot down because, as people were saying to me, until we've done more tests, we can't tell you. Okay, they're that honest with me. So with the family, I was like, well, yeah, I'm having these tests, but at the moment, all is good, all is good, all is good. At the point that we got a come in, we got a result, we need to speak to you, I took cancer with me again because depending on the result, I was like, I might not take all this in. And I want Kaz there. I want Kaz to hear the words that are said as well, so that she knows 100% where we are, where we're going, good or bad. Then, last night, spoke to my sons, Dan and Chris, a couple of absolutely fantastically strong, supportive men. And yeah, went through it with them and some of my closest friends. So everybody's aware where we are. So that's it. And this is going to be the journey. Okay, now I'm not going to post every day. I'm not going to do like a day one, day two. But what I am going to do is I'm going to post regularly videos, letting you know how I physically feel, how I mentally feel, and how I'm dealing with it, and any news that I get. So you can join me on the journey. Now, to anybody else that thinks they may have a problem with their body, please get it checked. even if it's just in the back of your mind, you've got this, oh, do you know what? I'm getting an ache somewhere. I'm getting a twinge. Get it checked, okay? At the worst, they're going to say there's nothing wrong with you. It's muscle, or it's a joint injury, or whatever. All right, you can help to treat that yourself because you now know what it is, and at worst, they can start the ball rolling. And that is, I can't reiterate how lucky I am that this has been found early and how important that is. Okay, so statistically, 1 in 3 of us is going to get cancer. Um, Statistically, yeah, that's high, isn't it? So all you can do is deal with it. Deal with it. Get the ball rolling. Get it diagnosed. Okay, find it. Do not start googling the internet because you're going to get wrong information. You're going to get horror stories. You are going to get bad information. Go through your medical specialists. Don't try and treat things yourself without advice. There are things that I know I could be taking at the moment that help things like kidney and liver function and so on. However, until I've spoken to medical professionals, I'm not going to take these things because they may well aggravate my situation. Okay, if they then turn around to me and say, "Yeah, milk thistle, it'll help," yeah, then I'll take it. And it's yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. Anyhow, so what we're going to do, like I say, we're going to push on with this. I'm still going to be doing my videos, and I'm still definitely going to be doing the live stream. But it's going to be more based here, unfortunately. Or I might take you out on a walk around the ponds or down the canal, something like that. Ah, yeah. So that's an update. That lets you all know what's going on. That puts you all in a position of, yeah, understanding, hopefully, why we're going where we are. And, guys, as always, get outside, have your adventures, have fun, get fit, look after yourselves, definitely. Love those you do, forgive those you don't. And as always, peace and light be upon you all. This is Mickey, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Catch you later.